said, it's wise to become wise before one becomes old. And that always stuck with me, that particular statement. You know, I don't know about becoming wise, but I think it's definitely an advantage to actually know oneself, and to actually make that a very important part of life. If one is laboring under the illusion that one doesn't know oneself. So did that get it for you, Mark?
I was hoping you might do the other thing about bundling memories too.
Bundling?
Yeah, putting them.
Well, basically one of the definitions of thought is basically, or mind is just simply being a bundle of thoughts. That's the only bundling I can remember.
Putting them aside.
Oh, yeah, right here, right now. Yeah, sometimes this is said. You take everything that could possibly be remembered, in other words, the whole graveyard, and just set it aside for a moment. Who are you? Without having the memory to go to for a description of oneself. Right now, who are you? This is self-inquiry. So Poonja-ji said, the only thing between you and full self-realization, he didn't say it quite the way I say it, but I say it's really the yeah buts. It's doubts. Yeah buts. Yeah but. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but, it's a yeah buts. So another word for those yeah buts are doubts. And he used to invite people to just give me your doubts. And I'll say the same thing right now. Just give me your doubts. I'll be happy to take them. I don't know what I'll do with them. But you can give them to me. But just get rid of them. Just give me your doubts, just for this moment. It's really quite easy. Just say yeah. Just forget the but. Yeah.
So, hi again.
Again.
Because of the history of this life, there's been this thought about samskaras.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is latent impressions.
And so I've spent a number of years noticing them and feeling the energy that somehow I think was held underground for a while. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to give that to you, all those samskaras, but I'm not sure that's necessary. I realize in hearing you tonight that I've identified with that baggage, and yet all humans have samskaras. Mm-hmm. Even you.
Oh, even me. Sure, the latent impressions are there, but they don't define me. They're just they don't have anything to do with who I am. They're just things that are stored somehow or another. Sometimes they're stored in the body, not just in memory.
Indeed, yes.
People who do neurolingual psychology and Ericksonian psychology, that's C.Y. Ramana's background, basically say that most of what runs us is below the surface, that runs the body. In other words, that makes the decisions. That while we're running around crowing that we have free will, which is a whole other can of worms that we could open up tonight. But yeah, you can give me your samskars, you know. But the thing is, you might find some of them useful. They're not. It's not like you're trying to clean house. You know, you're not trying to change everything. You just there's this knowledge, this knowingness that one is. It's like the house may be, if this is happening in the house will remain exactly the way it did. In fact, it's been said that if you really want to fix yourself, you should, fix everything you think is wrong with yourself before you do this inquiry, because once you discover yourself as that which is totally unassailable, you really won't be interested in fixing anything.
Yes, I understand.
Right.
And yet, what is that fine, subtle thing that allows the seeming slipping back into the personal?
It's a habit.
And so the practice of stepping out of that groove is who am I?
Yeah, well, the who am I will let you know who has something at stake. If you can see if you can find anyone that has something at stake with, if the process happens this way or some other way. See if there's someone here that's vulnerable or that could lose something or could, But since you're that, which I guess it's an argument, that contains everything and thus owns it, nothing can be taken away from you, because if they took it away and tried to hide it somewhere, the imaginary they, that's a whole other one we could talk about. The imaginary they, could somehow remove it. They'd be moving it somewhere else on your property.
Yeah, that's right. I understand.
Right.
But even the understanding doesn't always set me free.
It's because you're never bound.
That's right.
You're never bound.
It's as easy to remember as it is to forget.
Okay. All right.
The Smothers Brothers, this is a dating thing, where it dates us, but they used to talk about the informed authorities and reliable sources, and then they kind of look around.
The Smothers Brothers, yeah.
Smothers Brothers.
Yeah, I remember them, yeah.
It's 8:25, so we have time for a couple more questions if anybody'd like to ask.
Right. Yeah. We can always start with the heckling,
Well, there is an old boat builder back here. He probably sank you a couple times, I think.
Right.
There's this guy. He built boats.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I was supposed to make a bad joke when you showed up, but you came too late.
So, if there are no further questions, we can just sit quietly for a while, and for no reason whatsoever. It's simply Ramana Maharshi's only teaching. Yeah, almost always it was an invitation. Was to he said two things. He said, "Be still, be as you are."